What's up, my good people? What's up, my good peoples? What's up with y'all? What's up? What's up? Miss Sandra, Miss Dawn. Miss Sandra, how you doing? Miss Dawn, how you doing today? Miss Joyce, how you doing? Y'all having a good day out there? Okay. I'm good. I'm good, Miss Sandra. Good as you can get, you know what I mean? Well as the old people used to say, well as could be expected. I'm okay, Miss Dawn. How are you? Who cooking so I could come by? Key to G in the place to be. Miss Rhonda was good. Roll Tide. Even though my quarterback down, I'm still down with Alabama. Tua fan, Tua fan, Tua fan. So what's up, y'all? Everybody good? So I got a question, right? That I need some clarification on. Um, and this is not to disrespect anybody, any nationality. But I need clarification on this. It's something that we was talking about in the barbershop, and I said I was gonna bring it to my page because my page is mature enough to be able to handle it. So my question was, and y'all know that I've been talking about the Dear Black Family issues. We've talked about several so far: holidays, depression, suicide. We talked about a lot of things so far. But I told y'all that we were going to be talking about multiracial relationships and the detriment, therefore, on Black people and on our culture and where it originated and things of that nature. But I haven't had a chance to bring that one up yet. That's like Dear Black People number 10 or 11. But the question came up in the barbershop today. Can an interracial couple raise a Black man properly? And of course, you know me. Hey, y'all, I need y'all help real quick. I know y'all speaking to y'all, but I really need y'all help with this question. So if y'all could just pay attention to me for 1 second. Um, I have no disrespect or disdain for the interracial couples. What you choose to do at the end of the day with your life is what you do. With your life, that's up to you. But the question that was posed in the barbershop today was, can an interracial couple properly raise Black children? That was the question that was raised, and I would like to hear what y'all wrote. Well, I would like to hear what y'all answers were. I know what my answer was in the barbershop, and I'll share that with y'all. But I would like to hear what y'all answers would be if it was posed to y'all. Can an interracial relationship, a father and a white father and a Black mother, properly raise Black children in this world today? Okay. So elaborate on that. Why that is important, Keita G. And y'all share as well. I'm asking a question, so I would like to know the answer from y'all and how y'all feel about it. And then I would like to know why your answer is specific to why you're saying it. So Keita G, why did dad have to be Black for Black children? I'm not coming against you. I'm asking a question. I just want to know the answer. Yes, it would be hard, Miss Sandra. And I'm going to explain why in a minute. But I want to hear Keita's answer because the first thing she said was kind of poignant to the answer that I'm getting at. Because what I said was similar to that. So, can an interracial couple, a white father and a black mother, properly raise black children in America as it was today? I would like to know the answer. I know that every culture is different, Ms. Motley. That's not an answer to the question, though. The question is, can an interracial couple made up of a white father and a black mother properly raise black children or multiracial children in this culture today? That was the question. If y'all could stay with me for a minute, I know y'all want to speak to everybody, but please stay with me on this question, please. Okay? Okay. So Keita G said because he would know how to raise a black man being black himself. Okay, and Ms. Joyce says a white man cannot raise a black son. Okay. Anybody else want to chip in on this before we start getting into it? Can an interracial couple, a white male and a black female, properly raise black children or interracial children in this world today? That is the question. I got 19 of y'all and only 2 answered the question. So can we get a little help? Anybody? And those were good answers, by the way, Keita G and Joyce. I'm going to elaborate in a minute on what my answer was and why my answer was the way it was. Because I felt a certain kind of way when I answered the question. Okay. Okay. I respect that. Roll Tide, I see you. Well, I mean, I don't need you to just listen, Miss Beverly. I need feedback because I really would like to know an answer from the people that I talk to every day. That's the reason why I brought the question to you guys. Thank you for your answers, Keita G, Joyce, and Miss Roll Tide. Very poignant, and I'm gonna get into my answer in a minute. But I want to hear from my people that I talk to regularly what your answer was. Okay, no is a good answer. If that's what your answer is, okay. Thank you for your contribution, Miss Beverly. Anybody else want to answer the question out of the 14 people still on my page that's just watching? Again, thank you, Keita G. Ms. Dawn, thank you. She said no. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 no's out of the 5 people who responded. So nobody is positive toward the white guy raising a black child. So far, the Caucasian man is not doing well in terms of being a father in the black community. So. Anybody else? So again, the question that I posed was: can an interracial family, white father, black mother, raise biracial children properly in this climate and in this country? It's a free country, y'all. Y'all welcome to answer. It's not just about me talking all the time. I'm asking y'all input. So we got 6 no's. No yeses so far. All right. So I'm going to tell y'all what my answer was since y'all being so slow to answer. Now watch everybody start wanting to answer the question now that I'll start talking. So the question was posed to me today in the barbershop. Can an interracial relationship, white father, black mother, raise a interracial or black child, because they're gonna be black, they're gonna be considered black in the United States today? My question was no, and probably for the same reasons that some of y'all named. Um, Not because the mother could not properly give the child the tools, but the positive impact of seeing a black man and understanding the issues of a black person would be the way that it would have to go, because a black man would need to explain to a black man what's going on the streets of America and why it's pertinent to him and his life. It's different coming from someone of a different race when they're talking to you about race, right? I think that's one of the reasons why we're having so many problems on the streets out there now, is because we have a mixed community that's trying to find themselves, that's dealing with life, where the parents are trying to explain to them from a perspective of understanding and not from a perspective of life. Because for me, I could talk to a black man because I've lived as a black man. I can't talk to you about being Caucasian because I've never been Caucasian. I can only speculate about being Caucasian. I can only speculate about the treatment of Caucasians. I can only speculate about how police treat Caucasians, about how this is done, about how that is done toward Caucasian. But if you ask me a question for black man to black man, I can absolutely tell you the position that we're in as black people. And that is what's missing from that dichotomy of that relationship. Therefore, you have young black men who are biracial running around trying to find an identity where they can't. And they're confused and they're lost because their mother is trying to help them from what limited knowledge that she has of being a father, being a black woman in America, trying to take the place of the father. And then that Caucasian gentleman trying to give you a perspective of what it means, of how the world is supposed to be. But that's not how the world is. So my answer in this particular perspective was no. I don't think that works properly, because that man can never sit down with that child and tell him exactly the truth. He would have to give him perspective. And perspective for us doesn't work. Not when you can cut on the news and see your brothers and sisters being killed in the streets like dogs and cats. Those perspectives don't work. Those happy American dreams, and it's gonna be all right, and the Golden Gate Bridges and happy smiles and all that shit, that don't work. When I'm watching the news and I'm seeing my brothers and sisters getting splattered and killed and demolished by people that look like you, but you my daddy. So it's gonna be hard for me to learn those lessons from you when the people who are killing my people on the street look like you. That's what my answer was. And it actually was a Caucasian man in there who had who was in on a racial relationship. So he felt some disdain about what I said, and he told me about how he raised his son and his children. And I told him, I said, I don't care what you told him. I said, you can never ever give him 100% perspective on what it means to be black, or a black man, or a black woman in America. I can look in a black man's eyes and tell him what it means to be black in America, because I understand what it means to be black in America. I'm not speculating. I'm not guessing. I'm not giving you a overview. I'm telling you what I know specifically for the fact of what America has done to blacks, how blacks have established themselves in America, how we can make it in America. How's everybody doing? I'm talking right now, so y'all bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna say hey to everybody, I promise. So in order to understand the question, I think you have to look at it from a better perspective. I think you have to look at it from the fact of, can the mother do a better job of teaching the child, those black children, more of their history than leaving it to the Caucasian father? For those that just logged in, how y'all doing? Hey, Miss Cynthia, Miss Leah. Hey, Miss Champagne, how y'all doing? The conversation today is in regard to a question that I was posed in the barbershop. Someone asked me if a interracial couple, a white man and a black woman, could raise interracial children to be black, properly black in this culture. And everybody keyed in with their answers, and that's what I was just talking about. So to make a long story short, guys, my full answer was no. Because that man would never understand what it means compoundedly to be a black man. So he would only be giving speculation and offering a forecast that he would hope would be proper. But in reality, if he was talking to a black man directly, I think the child would get a better understanding of what it meant to be black. And one of the reasons why I think we're dealing with what we're dealing with on the streets of America, one of the reasons why we're dealing with what we're dealing with on the streets of America is because we've had a lack of black fathers positioning, not even black fathers, just black role models, period, positioning themselves in the lives of these kids that are growing up lost. Thank you, Miss Beverly. That are growing up lost in America. I don't think it's just in interracial households. I think it's in black families as well. The uncles, the grandfathers, the fathers are not positioning themselves to teach these children about the necessities of being black. And they're not giving them a proper role model to look after, to aspire to want to be, leaving their role models to become the people in the streets, the people who they want to become in the streets. And that's one of the problems that we've been having for quite some time. Nobody wants to be like their grandfather. Everybody want to be like Mike, or everybody want to be like that local drug dealer. But you don't realize that it's a price that you got to pay for that. And the sad part is that this goes on every day in a majority of our households, where we assume that we're taking care of business, but we're really not. So that was what I needed clarification on today. For those that wanted to answer, if you still want to take your time and answer, you're welcome to answer the question. Again, the question that was posed was, can a interracial couple, a white father and a black mother, raise interracial or black children properly in America? That was the question that was asked. So if you want to answer it, you're welcome to. Other than that, everybody, I just wanted to say, hey, thank y'all for the compliments on the haircut. I appreciate it. One thing I want to talk to y'all about too, I appreciate the love that we give each other, because you don't see that on a lot of pages. I appreciate the camaraderie that we share with each other. But one thing we have to do, guys, is like when somebody is having a discussion, we gotta concentrate on the person having the discussion for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So we can all get, so the point that can be made, because I'm not just coming on here just to be seen and say hi, and I come on for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And the purpose of why I come on, I let y'all know in the comments or the tagline, and that's the reason why I come on. I don't just come on to say hi to everybody. And I just want to make sure everybody understands that I come on for a purpose. And I will really respect the fact that if, when somebody's talking, that we all would be concentrating on what the person is saying. I love the fact that we all speak and show love to each other. I appreciate that. I really do. But at the same time, I don't want that to be going on while I'm trying to give y'all knowledge, because that's really not fair. Then I have to repeat myself later. Hello, KP. How you doing? Um, but no, I'm not mad at y'all. I'm not being mad at y'all. I'm just offering um, some insight. That's all. So I really, really want y'all to think about that, because that was a very powerful question that was posed earlier. And I think when we start thinking differently about these things, we can start looking at our own households differently, and try to make changes in our own households. And notice I always say we or our, because I include myself in every conversation, because I am part of the process. I'm part of the problem. I don't do well in some things that some people do well in. I don't do this. I don't do that. So I can fit myself into some things that I absolutely talk about. But I really, really would appreciate going forward if you guys see it that we're having a discussion about something specific, that y'all would keep your comments specifically about that, in the future going forward until we get past the topic. Then we move on to regular conversation, and then that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. I love the fact that we show camaraderie. I love the fact that we show family love on this page. But sometimes I think it can be a little bit much when somebody's trying to have a conversation. Everybody else is talking about everything else and not concentrate on what's being said. And that makes it hard for the person that's talking to get their point across. So I would appreciate it if we could just change that going forward. But other than that, guys, I do appreciate the love that y'all show to each other on this page, and the respect, that they put towards each other on this page. I was going to talk about suicide and depression today, but I felt like that topic was a little bit more important because it wrestled with my soul when they were talking about it, because it was like it was a taboo topic. And I'm like, it shouldn't be a taboo topic because it's going on across America. And somebody should be discussing this because those kids are lost and they don't really have anybody guiding them. And the guidance that they're receiving is ill willed, in a lot of cases, and they're not getting proper nutrition, let's say. So we got to give them proper nutrition. We got to give them proper knowledge. The little girls with the funny hair, the two types of hair, that the hair just be all over the place because nobody know how to do their hair, or the black kid with the funny color eyes, with the long, weird, frizzy hair that nobody know how to do anything with, that he gets teased all the time, but he's a black man, and at the end of the day, all of these kids need some guidance, because at the end of the day, that black blood makes them black. And if we don't accept them and pull them in, you're going to create, a problem with those kids later on, whereas they're going to misidentify with who they are. And now you're going to lose two proud black people that could be inputting to society. Instead, now they're working against us because they were treated unfairly and they never understood their heritage. So, the things I try to talk about are very important. The things I try to bring up are very, very conducive to our community. I think they need to be spoke about. I think these children deserve more of a chance to grow. I think they do not deserve to be teased the way that they get teased. I don't think that they should be bullied like they get bullied. I think that black people should step up to help their own, despite the fact that they're mixed. I think that we should put forth more of an effort to teach them better so that they know where they came from or where their ancestors came from on both sides of the coin, whether it be their Caucasian side or their African roots. They should know where they come from, and they should understand it without bounds. That because they have a mixture of black and white, that black takes over and makes them black. Mendel's law says something that is, I forget exactly what it is, but because it has black in it, it's black. Mendel's law proves that. Black is the dominant gene. That's what it was. So being that black is the dominant gene, anything touching black is black. Whether the father is white, the mother is white and black, blah blah, vice versa. Black mother, white mother, black father, white mother, But opposite, just like Obama. Obama's biracial, but at the end of the day, he's a black man. We all have to look at these things. Now, just think of let's just talk for a minute about this. President Barack Obama is biracial. Luckily, his mother allowed him to understand his African roots and to go try to learn something from the father who really didn't want to be bothered. But she still sent him to try to learn from the father because he needed to understand where he came from. And by him doing that, he was able to garner the knowledge of where he was from, so that as a black man he would understand that he had both sides and two sides to him. But at the end of the day, when he stood up, he was a black man, and he didn't learn that by mistake. He was taught that. So, you know, like I say, I talk about bullying. We talked about that before and how it comes about. One thing I always tell y'all is if all you care about is what's happening in your house, it's gonna happen at your house sooner or later. Believe me, it might not be at your door yet, but it's coming because all you care about is what goes on in front of your door or at your door, meaning that all you care about is what happens at your house. But you live in a neighborhood where children look up to you. You know what I mean? You live in that neighborhood where people that don't get to speak to you all the time look up to you. These children, the parents might not care about you, but those children look up to you that you pass by, and they could use a word from you sometimes. And you don't have to go out of your way to do it. You can just speak and say hi. Sometimes I ride by kids getting on the bus and I just say hi, and they so happy to say hi back that they was acknowledged, that somebody noticed them. That is just awesome to me that they care that much just to say hello to somebody. And I speak to everybody. I don't care if you white. I don't care if you black. I don't care what color you are. I speak to everybody the same. I got Asian people that live in my neighborhood. I speak to them. I roll down my window, say hello. I show respect to everybody because I want that same respect to be given to me. So the reason I say that, we have biracial children and black children who are growing up in our areas that are being beaten at home, that are being tortured at home, that barely get out the house to go to school alive. And when they do, they don't need more fucking oppression being put on them than what's already being put on them at home. And y'all just worried about what's going on at y'all house. Y'all not even paying attention to the fact that y'all could be helping these babies and providing them with something to get them and keep them going. Because all we've done is we've ignored them and we've made them into ticking time bombs. When if you think back, a lot of these children that are fucked up now was at your doorstep at one point in time looking for knowledge or looking for help or asking for food, or they was with your son or daughter looking to see if they could get a peanut butter sandwich, or they was with your kid trying to see if you was feeding them and you didn't help them. You told them to go home. So don't tell me that you can't help or you didn't have the opportunity. I watch shit and I pay attention. For years I watch. And I think back to times in my own life where children had come with my son to the house, and then they'll be like, "Y'all, what y'all cooking tonight?" And you automatically in your mind know that if they asking you what they cooking, most times at a black house, they tell you don't go over nobody's house begging. So a child is smart enough to figure that game out. Whereas if he shows up at somebody's house, he's like, "Ooh, that smells good. What y'all cooking?" Instead of saying, "Can I have some?" He's basically giving you a compliment so that you offer him some. Y'all should pay more attention to stuff like that, because that child is probably starving and probably not eating properly at home, and you had an opportunity to feed them and you didn't. You turn them away. And a lot of cases that happens. Trust me, I watch shit for years, and then I sit back and I analyze it, and I say we because I put myself in the picture as well, because I've turned away young people in those instances sometimes, and I feel bad about it because then I find out later that they was in that position and I could have helped. So I've changed my whole dichotomy of my thinking in that position. Stop thinking I can't tell you what to do. That's your life, your house, your bills, your lights. Whatever you want to do is your life. But I'm gonna tell y'all this: God sends people to us for a reason, and God sends children to us for a reason. Angels, those are angels. They turn into demons. Remember that shit. Angels turn into demons, and the children are doing nothing more than just trying to be children. In a lot of cases, a lot of these kids is getting the hell beat out of them at home. They can't wait to get out the house for a few minutes just to get in a safe environment. And what you do, they come to your house, you turn them away because you don't want them around your children. They looking for any help they can get to get the fuck away from their house and away from their parents and away from those people that's probably beating and abusing them. And they come to your house and you turn them the fuck away because you don't want to be bothered with them. Or or they give you the sense that they're hungry, but you don't want to feed them because you feel like they always begging or they always doing this or they always doing that. But you the main person in church talking about how good God is and how great God is. You're not Christian. You're not Christian. You're not Muslim, because those are the big tenets of being Muslim: is charity and caring and helping. So don't speak to me about Christianity and Islam if you can't even help the most least people in this world, which are children. Don't speak to me about it if you're not even helping the children. And these kids are coming to us begging for help. They might not be begging you specifically for help, but they coming to us begging in their way that they know how to beg, or the best way that they can beg without getting in trouble. Because a lot of them get their ass beat for asking for shit. So they don't found other ways to do it, and you're not even fucking paying attention. You just don't want them around you, so you send them away. When at the end of the day, you could have helped that kid. I bring that up because one of the highest rates of one of the highest rates of suicide right now is children. Guess what the highest rate is? Interracial children. Wanna know why? Because they're fucking confused. Because they're not learning at home. Because they're seeing all this stuff about black people on TV. Because they're seeing all this stuff about black lives on TV. Because they're seeing all this stuff about all of these things on TV. They're getting teased because they have different color skin, different color eyes, different color hair. They see that their father is white, their mother is black, so they know something is different than these other kids. They're getting teased, and then they come to your house as a safe haven, and you turn them away because you don't want to be bothered. But you call yourself a fucking Christian, or you call yourself a fucking Muslim, and you one of the best, and you sitting up in the church house every Sunday talking about amen and hallelujah when you're not even doing God's will. So I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm glad they asked me that question earlier. Like I told them earlier, I was going to be proud to answer that question, but I wasn't going to answer it there. I would come to my people that I talk to regularly, and I would answer the question with y'all because I wanted to hear y'all input. And a lot of y'all thought like I thought. But I go a little bit deeper with it because I don't blame the father. The white father would try to do the best he can to teach the child because that's his son. He's going to do the best he can to probably give that child what he can. But he's not black, so he can't give him, all he can give him is a perspective. I give you the truth because I know what it means to be black. You understand what I'm saying? It's different when I could look in your eyes and tell you to watch out for the police. I mean that shit. He's going to tell you that it don't give the same weight because he looks like the people who are on TV killing you. That's a little different. That's confusing, right? So as the holidays come up, guys, I'm telling y'all some things that should help you to do better, to help more. Stop hiding behind your fucking doors and interact with the children in your neighborhood, not as no fucking Chester molester type shit, but pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to everything that's going on around you. See, Miss Champagne, this is one of the reasons why I like to. So I'm gonna give the question one more time, and then I'm gone. So the question that I'm talking about today is, I was posed this question in the barbershop. The question that I was asked was, can an interracial couple that has children, can they raise those children properly to be black children, or to learn to be black children in America? That was the question that we asked. So the question that I said I was going to answer was, I said, I'm not going to answer that question right now. So I'm going to wait till I get on my page, and I'm going to answer it with the people who I normally talk to instead of talking to people in the barbershop. I was gonna come get y'all perspective and find out what y'all thought about it and talk with y'all about the answer. I've done that for the last 35 minutes. For those of you who missed it, that is what we're talking about today. I also talked about respect on the page, whereas when somebody's talking about stuff, and I understand that we love each other and we family and we all want to be speaking to each other, but when people are talking, it's usually more respectful if we all see we still doing it. I'm looking at the page and we still doing it. I'm gone, y'all. So I'm gonna see y'all later. I'll get with y'all probably later on tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk then. Peace.